remember that they're changing my voice. So here I'm at this place again, and I want to talk about the true version of Juliet. Right? The word Juliet is a play on words for Jew, lie, right? So in the story, there was some people who were lying and who were leading people astray, right? King Herod, Caiaphas, what have you. And those people who were tell the truth, obviously. So what does it mean to be Juliet in reality? It's to tell the truth about God and to be willing to die for God, right? For true love. And if you happen to have romantic love, it has to be a divine love in the divine order. So the anti-Juliet in her true form, right, is the anti-Christ. Christ is the bridegroom. If a woman actually were to marry me, then she would have found true love at the pinnacle of it. However, it's to each his own. When you're in the divine order, you find peace with the person that you're with. To you, whoever you're with is like the ideal person because you found your other half, that perfect person for you. Now, when you're called by Christ to submit, you're supposed to submit, right? And I choose a wife, and no one has the right to tell me to just choose one, but I just choose one because I'm a one-woman man, and I believe in the greatest commandment, the golden rule, to do unto others what you believe is right with all your heart, what you would have them do unto you. That's what it's saying. You got to treat them fairly. So a long time ago, I would have been married, perhaps even at 18 years old, perhaps in another country at 16 years old, because I was a very mature young man early on, and I had strong passions, and I knew what I wanted, very much so. If the female that I was in love with at 16 had submitted to me, I would have made a true woman out of her, instead of a profound rebel like what she's become. Because outside the divine order, there are rebels. Now again, I'm not petty, I'm not unfairly vengeful, I just seek and speed the causes of justice and righteousness. People have to be just. They have to be just in regards to romantic justice, right? God is love. To social justice. To the poor. They have to do the poor justice. That the poor justice from God onto the poor as they do the poor justice. Justice is what I look for. Isaiah 5:7. I'm looking for righteousness and justice. And what did I hear? And what did I see? I saw all these people committing suicide, all these people dying, all these unjust wars, all this unrighteousness in 2024, 2025, and before that, my whole life. Righteousness and justice. That is the essence of the moral of the Bible, to be righteous and just, to love God with all your heart by keeping his righteous and just commands. But people, they keep looking at things in terms of finding their life first. They keep trying to save their flesh first. Why won't they put doing what is righteous first? Why don't they get the moral of different movies? The Last Samurai in its true form is serving God with all your heart and being willing to die for God with all your heart in its true form. What is it superimposed on? For those of you who are monotheistic, you're not Shinto, you don't believe in Bushido or what have you, which is very close to being a Christian in its true form, mind you. There's some key differences. But it's that willingness to be faithful and just and true. That willingness to put God first in truth. There are countless people, millions and millions of people who say they put God first, but I haven't come across a single one that has. The closest thing to it is my father, who's blameless for having brought me into this world from the goodness of his heart. God forged me through the goodness of his heart and his wife's heart and made me who I am. And though I don't agree with all my father's decisions, and clearly when I look at things with true humility as a top martial artist, I know that I'm right where he's wrong. Except for maybe on minor issues, maybe things have to do with perhaps basic, maybe the science or something, maybe the things that aren't that important. But things that truly pertain to life path and being willing to face the world and say what is true and just, He agrees with me. But his stated argument is that he doesn't. But he did not let me down at all. The rest of the world, they did. And they should scramble to do what is just. The wisdom of the prudent is to give thought to their ways. And the folly of fools is deception, and the devil is the deceiver. Tell the truth, be just and righteous. Look at the situation, critically think, and say, is now the time to do this or that? Timing. Have the discipline to proceed in a sound manner. These characteristics are key in the message of the Bible. They're things that people don't truly understand. They don't truly understand the meaning of these words. They don't truly understand the characteristics of being ideal. They don't truly understand what it means to be righteous. I just did an interview with a female over there at Westcliff some hours back today, maybe 3 hours ago, 4, whatever it is. I think it was in the first video of today. And she did not know what righteousness is. Just like yesterday, where that female didn't know what it means to repent. You would think that everyone knows what it means to repent. It's a very important concept. People from every faith should understand it, right? You have a change of heart. You commit to changing your ways, and you scramble to do so. You make amends for sins with contrition in your heart. You're contrite as you make amends. You atone for sin. And you see the country's collective failure to atone. Should they cover it up for propaganda? No. What good is propaganda? It doesn't really help you win any wars. I've never heard of a war that was won as a result of propaganda. You might do a little something, but it's not that important. It's nowhere near as important as the need for justice. The need to look at yourselves, to look inside of yourselves, like they say about the wise archer. Those who fire the arrows of the Lord, the lightning of the Lord, they look inside themselves and say, what am I doing right? And what am I doing wrong? And how do I achieve perfection? How do I become pure and holy? That's what they must ask themselves with all of their heart, and to keep the commands with all their heart, to love God with all of their heart.